And we are live, center pitch. I just ate a bowl of pasta, so like it was delish, I have to say. So lads, we're gonna talk a little bit about a couple topics. So we'll start with Paris. First of all, condolences to anybody affected by what happened. We're gonna mostly focus on the soccer-related issues than any of the other political issues. Like, we're not going to get into any of that stuff. We'll start with the Paris-related issues. David Luiz comments, the Euros. We'll start with David Luiz. This guy really pissed me off. Comments were very soft. I mean, I'll let you have it at it first, Seb. You can rip David Luiz a new one if you want. Go ahead.
I don't know. I think his comments weren't, the best to say. I think for when you look at it, people in Paris should take that wrongly, in my opinion. I don't think it's good to come out and say that because I think Paris is still a nice city to live in, right? That was a one-time type incident. I don't think it's going to happen every day, right? So I think his comments weren't the best, kind of rude considering he plays for PSG, right? So I guess everyone takes it differently. I just take it as something he shouldn't have said. I think that was rude.
I mean, I agree. It was not the right way to say it, and I mean, but Seb, I disagree in a little part. Like, it has happened before with like the Charlie Hebdo thing.
Yeah.
So this has happened before.
Mm-hmm.
Sandra, your take?
Obviously, being in Paris 2-3 weeks ago, not the best news to hear. But Louis' comments, I mean, I think it's a little bit too soon. I don't know, what is it, 2-3 days after? I think he should have been more supportive of his city that he plays in and try to bring some character and stand behind the citizens of the team he plays for in Paris. Mostly agree with Seb. Not the best thing to say, could be taken in the wrong context. Also, supposedly, I read a report that Cavani might have similar feelings about not being so keen on returning to playing in Paris, but we'll see how that goes.
I agree. I couldn't really find a quote from Cavani about it, only David Luiz. But basically, he's running away. That was pretty obvious. I'm fine with you being scared and like, which you should be. You're naturally scared and you want to protect your family, but you don't have to tell us that. Keep it to yourself and talk to your agent. Be like, I want to move here and out of Paris because I don't feel safe. You can do that. Just don't tell the media, because now this is what the people that did these things, this is the point, to make people scared, to make people want to leave, to make people uncomfortable, and they succeeded. David Luiz is showing that they succeeded in what they're doing. We didn't hear one thing about him being supportive of Paris at all. I mean, I never liked David Luiz to start with, so I'll rip a new one. I don't really care. But I mean, it'd be nice to know if he would actually give a crap about what actually happened.
I heard that Sergu lost 2 friends in the incident.
Yeah, and one of the Lassana Diarra lost his cousin.
Yeah, exactly.
On the pitch, he lost his cousin, which is crazy and absurd. The whole thing was a mess to start out with, and I mean, hopefully, and we'll continue with it. I mean, the Euros are supposed to be held this summer in France. Most likely, the final will be in Paris. I'm guessing. I mean, it's usually the capital. So, and the opening ceremony will most likely be in Paris as well.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been talks about them moving it somewhere else, safety concerns. My take is keep it there. You have to. It's a way to say, like, you can't just do this and you're gonna be completely scared and run away from these things. You have to take it head on, and I would say have the tournament there. Yes, it's a safety concern, but I mean, you got to bulk it up have security everywhere. I mean, it's going to be a little frightening. I don't know what the attendance is going to be like there, but I mean, it's also the Euro, so people should be going. Your take, guys? Sandra?
Um, I'm pretty sure UEFA released a statement today saying that as of right now they plan on going ahead with France hosting the Euro next summer. Also agree with you, Marco. They should keep it there. I mean, let's be realistic. An attack like that can happen in any major European city. So it's not like France is more vulnerable than, I don't know, Rome or London or anything like that. So something like this can happen anywhere. So I don't see why there would be such a big need to move the Euro. Obviously, I mean, with it being under a year from these attacks, I guess I can see why some people would be calling for it, but I think they should definitely keep it for France, and it will be something that the host nation can pride themselves on.
Seb?
I agree with both of you. Actually, just keep it. There's no need to change it. It's already planned there, I don't think. And like actually what Sandro said, it could happen anywhere, right? It could happen in Paris, it could happen in Rome, it could happen anywhere. So there is no need to change it. I've even seen players like Verratti come out and say that there isn't no need to change it. They should keep it. And yeah, that's my opinion. I think I agree with Verratti. I agree with both of you. They should just keep it.
All right, well, on a lighter note, Seb, where the hell did you get a microphone from?
Oh, I don't know. I just found it in my house. I was looking for something to record with, and I just found it in my house. I'm like, hey, this would be cool to use.
All right, it works. It works. All right, we'll go on to some of the international stuff that's been going on this past weekend. I personally saw the U.S. men's national team play St. Vincent and Grenadines, which was pretty funny for a little bit, at least for the first 5 minutes. Anything else you guys got? We're going to talk about Italy, I guess. Seb doesn't like talking about Canada, his native country, so I guess we're anti-Canada on the center pitch.
No, it's a good win for them. I was watching the game at a restaurant. It was a good win, but I don't really follow Canadian football. But from what I can tell, that was a huge win. The way they reacted when the final whistle blew, they're going crazy. The crowd was amazing. So it's big for them. And on to Italy, 3-1 losers to Belgium. I think that should have been expected. I don't think this Italy team is as strong as Belgium, in my opinion. I think they didn't play that well either. Conte waited until 20 minutes, 70th minute, to make his first substitution. Everything looked lost. The defense looked horrible. So I don't know. We'll see what they could do tomorrow against Romania. But right now it's just friendly, so I guess you can't draw too many conclusions. So, but whatever. We'll see what happens.
Sandra?
Didn't get to see the Italy-Belgium match, but I heard Dedzuri played pretty well the first half, going into the halftime tied at 1, and then some bad defense mistakes in the second half cost them. But also shout out to Hungary, who qualified for the Euro Championship next summer after beating Denmark in the playoff. So, yeah, that's all I have for international. I was traveling this weekend, so didn't get to see any games, really. Ireland's playing right now. What's the score?
I'm pretty sure it's still 1-0 Ireland, which means they're going to Euro 2016 Bosnia, going home. I think that's a shocker. That's a shocker.
Bosnia has a lot of talent. So there's a couple of rumors going around with Conte probably thinking about not taking De Rossi, not taking Pirlo to the Euros this summer. Pirlo, I understand. De Rossi, I don't understand. Seb, your take?
Yep, agree. Pirlo, I understand. MLS, I guess, nothing against the MLS. I guess it's that the level is a bit weaker. De Rossi, I don't know. I really hope that report isn't true. De Rossi's such a key member to this national team. You saw it with Prandelli. You saw it with Lippi going into the 2010 World Cup. He's been one of the most important players for the past years. So I think it'd be a huge mistake. I think the team plays better with him. I think it's good when they have a player like De Rossi in the center midfield area, controlling the midfield, controlling the defense. I think he makes the team better. So I think it'd be a big mistake if Conte left someone like him at home.
I think there's a pretty good chance if the Rossi does make the team that we see him playing center back instead of in the center of midfield. Um,
I think if it depends. I think it mainly depends on the formation. If it's
right,
three
right. No,
five,
I agree,
yeah.
but
If it's three
I
five
don't
two,
see him. I don't see Conte if he goes three in the back. I don't see him taking Barzali as a team. Um, but we'll see what happens. What the selection is, depending with the center backs and how Conte sees the Rossi position wise. Alessandro, your take on it?
De Rossi should be a lock on the roster as long as he's fully fit. Pirlo, pretty much up a toss-up at this point, I think. I don't know. Really think it's Verratti's time to control the midfield and
Yeah, totally agree.
start creating for the team. Graziano Pele has been playing really well. Also Adair. Hopefully, I just want to see this team build up and continually get better and prepare well for the Euros and hopefully have a good summer.
Yeah. I mean, I think we saw it during the World Cup. Verratti and Pirlo can't really play with each other. They kind of try and get into the same exact spaces, and we saw that a lot. And then trying to do the same exact things and not being very complimentary of each other. Um, I think this is Verratti's team. Should be Verratti's midfield. It should be the pace, the tempo should be dictated by him. And you can't you if you take Pirlo, you have to start him, and he's not a guy that can be on your bench and then can be a super sub. He's not that kind of player. He's never been that player in his career. If you're gonna take him as a starter, or don't take him at all. That's my pitch towards it. So yeah, that's about it for Italy. I'm guessing no one watched the U.S. team lose and then win against St. Vincent and Grenadines. That was hysterical. I fell off my couch when St. Vincent Grenadines scored. Um, the player plays for like the reserve team of Seattle Sounders. It was amazing. I was like, oh my God, Klinsman's going to get fired right now. He's going to get fired right now, or at least at halftime. That was incredible. The formation that Klinsman set out was very typical for like a normal person, but for Klinsman, this was a very radical lineup. Playing Fabian Johnson on the left of midfield, where he usually plays for Gladbach, playing Yedlin at right back, his normal position since he was 9 years old, and for some reason we decided to play him in the right midfield. But basically, Klinsman put them in their normal positions, told them just attack, attack, attack. Yedlin got a little burned on the goal that was made, but other than that, I would love to see him play right back against Trinidad and Tobago tomorrow. Bobby Woods decided to score goals, now starting instead of coming off the bench. See if he's the second forward with Josie up top against Trinidad. Jordan Morris, maybe if he gets some playing time instead of Bobby Wood. And we're going to have Tim Howard tomorrow instead of Brad Guzan. That's about it for the U.S. men's national team.
Wait, question on that. Did Tim Ream and Miazga play at all that game?
Yazga got subbed on in the second half for about, I think he played like 22 minutes or some crap like that. And it was actually very interesting. Miazga was played center defense, and they pushed Beasler up to center defensive mid, which is very odd. But Beasler is kind of that mobile center back that he can possibly play there. I wonder if that actually happens again. If we see that happen again, I'd rather have Miazga and Beasler in the back and then move Cameron to center mid because he's a more technical player. And then who's the second guy you asked about?
Tim Ream.
Tim Ream had a great game at left back, but then again they're playing St. Vincent and Grenadines and they won 6-1. But Tim Ream played really well. He does everything well, and he even like goes into the attack even as a left back, even though his normal position is center back. But what he's going to lack when they play better teams is pace. He's a very, very slow player, and he's better with reading the game. But playing a left back, going against a bigger, even a winger like from Canada, like Junior Hoylett, he's going to get burned just based off speed. So that's interesting to see how that works out. Seb, anything?
No, I just have one thing for international. Ireland just scored to make it 2-0, 3-1 on aggregate, which
Oh,
means
that's it.
you will see Bosnia will not, unless, in my opinion, unless a miracle, I can't see Bosnia coming back. Looks like they're not going to Euro. I think that's huge considering you have players like Pjanic, players like Dzeko, who won't be going to the Euro, and those are top players. I'm not just saying that because they play on Roma, but those are top players. Pjanic has to be one of the better midfields in the world. Dzeko, when he's on form, he's one of the best strikers in the world. So I guess that is a loss for the Euro. That's really shocking. Norway out, Bosnia out. There's been some shocks in the playoffs so
Let's
far.
let's. I've told you this before, Seb. Let's just call Roma the Premier League rejects. I
Okay.
mean, they have so
Oh,
many players that have went to the Premier League
yeah.
and just either like failed or did well and then failed, and then they came back um, to Roma and like Trevino, Salah, Dzeko, even Mike Cohn, Szczesny. The list goes on and on. But whatever. It's Roma. All right, we'll move on. Blazercon. If you haven't heard about it, if you watch Men in Blazers or if you listen to their podcast, Men in Blazers, I highly recommend it. Um, Two guys that really have been promoting American soccer, and you know what? That's like one of the reasons like I decided to do this, and so they're Comic Con. They mix Comic Con and the Men in Blazers together this weekend and created BlazerCon, and a lot of prominent guests, a lot of owners from MLS to the EPL as well came to Brooklyn, and they basically answered a lot of questions. Even Don Garber was there, so it was very interesting. Um, any takes you got from it, guys, Sandra?
First thing, I read something about the talk about relegation promotion. While I think it would make the league a bit more exciting at times, at least obviously towards the bottom of the table, won't really happen for a while. Too much money involved for the MLS clubs, so I don't think that's feasible. And what was the other? Oh, obviously, I saw Kraft talking about soccer-specific stadium in Boston. Obviously, that's ideal for every team to have a soccer-specific stadium, which would be great for the game and the league. Sometimes it's not so easy to make that happen, but more teams that have soccer-specific stadiums, better for the league, better for the sport. Hopefully, we get a more influx of nice stadiums like Rebel Arena, beautiful stadium. Obviously, we have New York City playing at Yankee Stadium. Who knows what will happen with that, but hopefully, as the league grows and improves, we see more soccer-specific stadiums.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing about Red Bull Arena is that I'm pretty sure, or I could be very much wrong on this. I think it was only built for like $200 million, and the Revs, and he talks about it, the Revs said that they would put $400 million of their own money towards a new stadium, but then the past mayor rejected it. Didn't want it to happen. Whatever. We'll actually see what happens. We saw during BlazerCon that one of the owners, Orlando City's owner, stated that he wants to see every team have a stadium or a field without football lines, and with Kraft there and with and Roth there, the Sounders owner, we saw a lot of tension and it got a little quiet. Both those teams play on the Seahawks field. Both those teams play on the New England Patriots field. Seb, you got any takes from it?
Yeah, what interests me was when I read that article that you shared with us. I think what interests me the most was the promotion relegation, because I think that's in my opinion, a hot topic, because maybe people don't take the MLS as serious because of that. I don't know, but in my opinion, I don't think the MLS needs to do promotion relegation. I think the way it is now is just fine. I think maybe if you're thinking like a long term, talking like 30 years from now, maybe, but I don't think right now the MLS needs to do a promotion relegation type thing. I think the way it is with the playoffs, the way most American sports work, I think that's fine.
I think not having promotion relegation is like the most American thing out there.
Yeah.
So I find it very unlikely that this happens. also from a financial perspective, the owners of these MLS teams, if they ever decide to go promotion relegation, are putting forward so much money to lose if it's promotion relegation.
Oh
If they
yeah.
get relegated, so many of the dollars they spend towards new stadiums, towards players, towards developing the league themselves would go. Like if the Columbus Crew got relegated, they've been with the league forever. That team gets relegated, they lose all that progression that took 20 years. I don't see it happening. Promotion relegation happened in the early 1900s when all these teams came about. I don't want to say it's an old idea because it still happens today, but the single entity is something that's new, something that we see in the NFL, the NBA, and it's kind of a way to stabilize each team financially. Don't see it happening within next 20 years, maybe our lifetime. To be honest with you, the MLS will add leagues. There's no doubt about. I mean, we'll add teams. There's no doubt about that. And they already have a developmental league in the USL, but we won't see them have promoting relegation anytime soon. So that's mostly about done with BlazerCon. It was interesting if you went. Just saying, if you did go, you were probably one of the many white male dads that showed up, because that was basically the only people that actually went, and it was like very expensive to go. It was like $225 just get a ticket, which is a little crazy. Next up, Cosmos NASL Championship. They won. You can look at one of our guest blogs right now. You can go to the website, Lads Off the Pitch, guest blogs, and it's right there. A little recap on the game. Sandra?
Yeah, so the New York Cosmos were hosting the NASL Championship at Hofstra University on Long Island, and it was the last professional games for both Marco Senna and Raul, two Spanish legends. And with the spotlight on both of them, what's his name? I don't even remember his name, which is bad. But one of the players on the Cosmos scored a hat trick, and sending Raul and Marco Senna off to perfect careers. Cervillo. Probably should have done my research, but anyway, it was great seeing the celebrations, sending off two greats of the game like that. Good to see, and obviously we have the guest blog up, as Marco said. Check it out. Pretty good article.
All right, well, that's about it for us and the lads on Center Pitch. That's about it. We got a bunch of international games going on still, and some tomorrow as well. And then we got the league starting back up next week. We're almost at the midway, guys. Midpoint of the season. Almost there. Very interesting. We got a couple of good storylines going on. And we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Peace
Peace out.